Well, hello there, Tube Risers, you and otherwise. Short talk at the trailer with an old guy. It's early morning, and I'm trying to figure out what I'd like to do today. I got yet another day off of work, and you know, this whole retirement gig is supposed to be about, well, I finally got free time to take care of, whatever it is, and it usually involves, I don't know, I'm going to go travel or. My dad used to go on these trips out to Las Vegas and stuff, or gambling. I don't care about any of that stuff. And I watered the grass a little bit today and watched, of course, probably altogether too much of that, this very algorithm here today, the ongoing catastrophe in Hawaii being formally mismanaged by federal authorities and with aid of state authorities as well, to hide as much as they possibly can from the American people in order to carry off with their land grab. And yet not raising the eyebrows. We don't want to have anything suspicious except for all those children missing school buses. Where'd they go? Even if a school bus did get into a fire, there ought to be a wreckage of it. How come there's no bus? Where'd it go? And like 12, 14 buses are missing or more. Put 70 kids on each bus. Where'd they go? And things are just ugly. But I got to thinking about it. I thought, here it is. As far as we can tell, the world's falling apart. At least politically, nobody trusts anything that comes out of the official mouthpieces, the so-called MSM. They're just a gang of liars, and paid for, bought and paid for. Just, that's what working girls do. Speaking of that, all this human trafficking, one of the vids I was watching this morning, good Dr. John, thank you, Dr. John, and this is from 2014, okay, almost 10 years ago. At that time, it was estimated worldwide, this man stealing, this kidnapping, this abductions of, all the way from babies up to kind of usually teenagers and stuff. Organ thefts, all kinds of weird sexual misuse of just little kiddos and stuff. I mean, this is hellish. This is hellish. And so, I think the thought kept coming up, it sort of appeared in some of my stuff yesterday a little bit too. I got to thinking over last night after I went to bed, and I thought, I have to speak up. I have to say something, and not that anyone's listening, not that anyone cares what I have to say. Oops, neighbor's firing his truck. That's not really a truck, that's a van. I just thought he's going to drown me out. But the situation is so gruesome and so dark in so many ways, and yet here I am, sitting in the sunshine, peaceful environment. No sirens going off, no gunshot in the background. You notice that. No people screaming. No riots occurring currently. In other words, I'm constantly talking about stuff like this, that's what I see is coming, and yet here it is, peace and quiet. And I got a spam risk phone call coming in right now. And I guess people will call you and try to sell you stuff. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care about that stuff. But, occasionally I will go back. There's the voice recording option. If you got something to say, leave a message. I'll get to it someday. Usually I get a voice message in under 3 days because oh yeah, that's right, I did get a call. Who was that? And so I'll go back and listen to stuff. Occasionally it's something I might want to pay attention to from someone I actually know. And so there were some things I needed to do. There was a petition I signed the other day. I couldn't figure out for the life of me how you get into this website that the state maintains, supposedly to find your precinct number. Oh my gosh, on Sunday I think I spent 45 minutes or an hour trying to code that thing up and try to figure out, just tell me my precinct number, and they'll tell you everything except that. So I thought I'd call the county clerk or whoever it is today and try to find out, look, can you just tell me over the phone? I mean, really? And so I thought maybe I should take care of that today. And, the thing is, but all these little details of our lives. You know, oh, that's right, I forgot I need to go get my shoes worked on. Or people, I guess, don't get their shoes worked on anymore. Shoe repair is kind of like, you know, an ancient practice. I don't think anybody fixes shoes any longer. But when I was a kid, there used to be shoe repair stores. And anyway, that was when shoes were built out of something instead of just plastic and rubber and junk. And the government which we are under, the United States, is wicked, rotten to the core, hellish, deceivers. You know, years ago, the Muslims, the Iraqis, I believe, or not, maybe it's the Iranians. Yeah, probably the Iranians used to call the U.S. the Great Satan. And I'm kind of thinking, maybe they're just a little ahead of the curve. That's all. The wickedness that this land is stooping to, in the Ukraine now, they're trying to extort governments around Europe, where, I mean, 3 million Ukrainian men ran. Remember the old 60s thing? Men used to go across the border into Canada to avoid the draft. Well, it was like that, except it wasn't Canada, it was countries surrounding the Ukraine. Now the Ukraine is demanding that they be returned, and the governments are cooperating with it. They want to expatriate these expatriates back to the Ukraine to go fight for this dismal forever war that the poodle and his hellish companions have been brewing. And they can't get the men in fast enough so that they can send them out to be killed. So now they're going to start drafting women. Yeah, that's going to work real well out there on the battlefield. I can see that just wide away, pure military genius. You know, Alexander the Great would be shocked at how brilliant that is. What a bunch of idiots. And, you know, girls, ladies, go ahead and be offended if you like, but I just honestly think that most of the time, maybe not 100%, men are going to prove to be the better warriors in a battlefield scene. Call me old-fashioned. I don't care. But this administration is so wicked, and so I'm wondering if there's a way besides, you know, I guess I could write a letter to the governor of the state and to the president of the United States, whoever that really is, and renounce my citizenship here. This country is just wicked, and we are the bad guys on the planet right now. It's hard to believe we're actually eclipsing Red China in mistreating its own people and lying. Now the Red Chinese, the CCP, they're rotten to the core, and I hope they collapse. And I believe that country's under judgment as well. If you take a look at some of these natural disasters, this astonishing flooding that's been happening around the Beijing area, and well, actually all through China, they're getting whacked over there, and that country's not in great shape at all. But the powers that be appear to have forgotten one thing, that they cannot rule anything really very well or very long. I guess I got bugs here today. I don't know, flies. They cannot rule very well or very long unless they abide by truth. And of course they claim to be speaking truth. Of course they claim that anyone who disagrees with them is a liar. And but not only that, a dangerous extremist. A dangerous extremist, what's that? It's anyone who disagrees with Joe Biden. Oops, the poodle. I said that name again. That's what they're brewing over here. And so the way I look at it, I think, you know what? Maybe the thing to do, go and make some friends with your neighbors. Things are going to get rugged. Things are going to get nasty. Go door to door. Visit your neighbors and say, hi, I live over here. Just want to let you know I've got your back. You know, if things get rugged, if things get nasty, I'll be watching out for your place will you volunteer to help me and just keep an eye on my place too? Uh, just pick up the phone and call the cops. They might even come if things get ragged. But the wheels are going to fall so far off eventually that even the police is going to be counterproductive because they're agents of the state. I watched one young officer today and on yet another vid, and good troop, solid dude, and he knows what's going on, and the police are now ordering their people to do things they know to be unconstitutional as a policeman. And so he's saying, no, as an officer, you are not obligated to do that. Not by our Constitution. Newsflash, officer, the Constitution is trash. It's been superseded by the new owners, and the new owners are devilish, and the new owners have no love for the likes of you or me. And so, I don't know. I don't think we want to necessarily start talking about vigilantes and stuff. I don't know if we want to talk about an armed rebellion. I don't know if we want to talk about a civil war. But everything that these clowns in D.C. and the Beltway are brewing points that way. They're trying to start something here so that they can, of course, clamp down. That's all they really know to do. It'd be a little bit like the only move I know is to clench. And they're trying to hold on to the reins of power. They're trying to hold on to their damned money. Damned money. It's dirty money. It's murder. It's blood money. And that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. But look around me today. I guess I could move the camera and help you see. But beautiful sky, blue. A couple of floater clouds up there. No wind to speak of. And I thought, it's so peaceful and so beautiful. You could almost forget for a few minutes that the world is ruled by perverted, demonic lunatics. Among them, our own leadership. In 1938, if you were in Germany, would you have stood up and said, Adolf Hitler and Goering and all the heavyweights in that disgusting regime? I don't want to limit it to Goering, but the vicious and seductive angle that they were working to capture a nation and ostensibly try to capture the world, it collapsed. I'm glad it did. But newsflash, that's what always happens to evil empires. And if it hadn't been the United States, it would have collapsed from within. It was unstable. It's an unstable foundation. There's nothing holding it together except fear and reprisal. You can't build a community that way. You can't build a world that way. And unless it's founded on trust and on decency and on the fear of God and the love of what's true as He sees it, or something like that, every great civilization has always believed and maintained that murder and man-stealing and kidnapping are evil. Not this one. They're participating and they're benefiting from it. You don't think that 150 billion, that's almost 10 years ago in this so-called industry of man-stealing, and really baby stealing, if you want to know. That number's got to be probably, I'm guessing, double that by now. We're talking $300 billion. You don't think they bought off politicians? You don't think they bought off? What about that Epstein guy with his list of very important persons? The red carpet types visiting his sick little island. Whatever happened to that story? Well, it got buried. And it's going to stay buried. Because the same powers that were visiting that island are still roaming around today, and they're still profiting by this disgusting trade. These men need to be put to death by a legal court with due counsel and the capital punishment applied. It's the only way that you could begin to remedy this, and they're not even interested in trying. That means it grows. That means it gets completely out of hand. That's what they're brewing. That's what they're building. I say the curse of God is upon them. May their house fall on their own head. May they collapse in dismay at His judgment and be destroyed in fire from Him. That's your options, friend. Either you're going to come out, hands up to the Almighty. I'm sorry, sir. I got caught up in this rebellion. I thought I was right. I know now your way is better. Please, I have no excuse. I have no help. If the Father doesn't forgive us through the Son at Calvary, there is no plan B. There's no brownie points for I intended to do well or something like that. Now, it's what you did and what you said. We will be measured, we will be judged for our words, our deeds, and even the intent of our hearts. And he judges justly. Against that, no man has any hope except one, the great one, the King of Jews, Jesus from Nazareth. He lived and died perfectly, without error, without sin, without once failing in the way that we do every day, repeatedly. He's good. He's better than good. He's gooder than good. And he's with your heart. He's with your thinking. He's guiding your steps today. So be guided by hearing his word, asking the Spirit. Ask the Spirit, come into my mind today. Help me to understand better the direction for my energies. What should I be paying attention to? What flowers should I water? What creature should I encourage and make sure is safe today? What little aspect of decency and truth and integrity do I work on the contours and building up the solidity of in my little adventure down here? Because the kingdom is coming, it has come, and it's in your midst, it's within you, and it's among you. So in the midst of the believers, look at that stupid cat. Of course you can't see it over there. There's a clothes I gotta show you this. There's a clothes thinger for hanging up, and this dumb cat, I keep seeing these. I spooked him a little while ago with the water hose, shot water at him. That cat didn't like that. So that's where you go if you're a cat around here, I guess. I don't like cats. There was a woman over here across the way. She's almost sure it had to do with that. I think I'm out zigging. Yeah, right there. She passed away about 8 months ago, and I'm sure it had to do with the warped needle, because she had commented to me. She used to speak to me occasionally after I get home from work, and I'm all crooked here. And she used to speak to me, and she was complaining about how badly her arm hurt. And I said, well, what happened? Did you fall down? She says, no, I got my vaccine, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard that can be pretty painful. And you know what? I just said, well, I hope you do okay. But wasn't much longer after that. Adios. And she died at home. Nobody knew. She didn't have any friends or family here to speak of. And a lot like me. So, we used to talk sometimes. She was always broke. And this lady, her idea of things to do today was stuff like she was going to walk around and look for cigarette butts on the ground, maybe get it smoked that way. And I used to give her maybe $1 or $2. Here, go get yourself some food or something, or I'd bring her some food every so often. But I don't want to, about what a nice guy I am. All I'm saying is she used to keep them damn cats, and of course it was against park rules, and so she ostensibly didn't keep them, which means she did, and they just never caught her at it. And these damn cats are everywhere. There must be 12, 15 of them in this little trailer park right here, just feral cats roaming around. And so I've been thinking, maybe one of the things I should do today is, call the animal control, come out here with your boxes, your traps, get these dang things out of here. But I haven't yet. So anyway, just wanted to kind of check in with you guys a little bit today, and I just kind of wanted to pass on that it's sort of like the idea is to me right now, kind of the calm before the storm, maybe being in the eye of the hurricane. In the eye of the hurricane, it's calm. Just step outdoors, though, out into that ring. The world's being just shaken and turned upside down by lies, murder, and perversion. And it's coming through what we call the great ones, the leaders, the billionaires. These are the ones who are pushing this agenda. I think it's time we push the hell back, put a reward on their head. Somebody doing a lot of people a big favor if some of these people were to say accidentally and mysteriously disappear themselves. Yeah, well, that's incitement. I'm going to incite myself, though, by saying, you know what? It's all about law and order, too. In other words, if we're going to demand decency, and if we're going to demand righteousness, then I've got to follow that as well. I can't go off half-cocked and, go start, blowing up stuff, however fun that would be. I can't go do that, not anymore. Maybe if you talked to me when I was 15, I would have been willing to get involved, but not at 65, and it's not because I'm so much older. It's I've learned some things along the way. The Lord is in charge, whether we like it or not, and the Lord is in charge of our conscience as well. So we don't have carte blanche like they think they do to go ruin people's lives or take lives as they so frequently do. So it's kind of a nice little idea in a way, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And by the time people do something about it, the wheels have truly fallen off of the society. And I don't want to destabilize things anymore by inciting or compelling someone, or anything like that. I'm just saying, make friends with your neighbors. See if you can watch each other's backs. Remember, the great ones, the powerful ones, the government wants to kill you. They're trying to kill people around the world, and they're using, magic juice. And it is their intent to snuff you out. Don't cooperate. Do not comply. Do not participate in their lies, nor repeat their errors. And speak instead of the excellence of God and the strength of His Word and the integrity of His Spirit. And then entrust that sense of revenge against these billionaires. I mean, my heart says go hunt them down. Just kill them. That's what my heart says. Temper that heart. Learn to speak truth. And the way we do that is by entrusting that revenge to Him. Believe me, when He carries out revenge, and it is His, vengeance is mine, says Yahweh. Vengeance is His. We agree. And so we entrust it to Him, and so I put down my rifle, I put down my bombs, I put down my commando manuals, or whatever people want to get into. I'm not into any of that stuff. But the point is that if it's a true fight and a battle royale, I'm standing with the King of the Jews, and I'm saying this: go ahead and mess with Him. Go ahead and lie. Go ahead and sin and sin and sin and sin. It's all going to be visited upon your head in His time. And His revenge is much sweeter because it's total, it's devastating, and it's permanent. Just like His kingdom is total, permanent, and good. You got two ways, choose one. Choose the way of life. Choose the way of reason. Choose the way of hope. Choose the way of logic. Choose the way of beauty. Choose the way of intelligence. Choose the way of wisdom. His way is best. Call to Him and rest in His power, and you'll do just fine. Go listen to the Bible today, or go read the Bible, or tell some little kid. I'm going to tell you a Bible story, kiddo. You're going to like it. Little kids like Bible stories. They're smart. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.